Hey Chris, as promised, mate, I've got your footage here of the stuff that we chatted about in the studio at the weekend. Obviously, you were in the Cave S3D. Really good session. Really enjoyed it. First couple of things: if you want to hit a slight draw, you need to start the ball to the right of the target. Obviously, the ball will start closer to the club face aim. So at impact, you need to have the face marginally open to the target, and then for the ball to curve back to target, the path of the club needs to be a fraction further to the right, and that will create the curve on the ball, and the ball will finish on target. Your miss that you reported to me, and it was evident at the weekend, was a shot that started a little bit too straight and then curved away, and the miss was a little to the left. So you had the face too square. You had the face maybe pointing at the target, or maybe even a fraction close to target. Then when your path is 4 degrees up the right side, the ball will start too close to target and curve. I hope I've explained that okay. Moving into your technique, the K-Vest helps you to understand that your posture, based on the averages in the software, based on tour players. I know it's not about putting you into an average or basing you on somebody else. I understand everybody is individual, but it just helps you to understand that you're on the more tilted end of the spectrum with regards to your posture. And for me, you can kind of see that with the lie angle of the golf club. See if I can just zoom in there for you. You can kind of see that with the lie angle and how the club, kind of points lower than your belt buckle. So for me, I'd have the golf club maybe just a fraction more upright here, which then just might take the posture up a little bit. So we did do a little bit of, we chatted a little bit about that. Moving into your motion, one of the things you said was that the club often kind of gets behind you here. If you wanted to improve on that, you would just need to add a little bit of earlier wrist cock. So somewhere here, you would want the wrists to be cocking a little bit more, which is a upward motion, and that just keeps the club in front of the hands a little bit more as you pivot your body. Your wrists kind of bend sideways rather than cocking. So if that was ever something that you wanted to work on, there's a little bit of a heads up for you there, and that'll be the reason that you get a little bit kind of laid off. The club gets a little bit behind you here as a result of what's happened in the first part, and that's why it just gets a little behind you and a little laid off, in this kind of area. I believe that's all because of the first part. Your rotations are good. The 3D stuff has helped us to understand that your pivot and your rotations are good. Your sequencing is pretty good. The lower body leads the transition. To manage this club face, to help you to miss the target less to the left, which is your poor shot, I would have your body, both the pelvis and the upper, a little bit more open or rotated at this time in the swing. You can see here how the upper body is quite closed to target, and that's going to be keeping this golf club behind you quite a bit. And then that kind of continues down through the impact here. You'll see the body hasn't really opened. It's quite square to target, and that's what's giving you this kind of look to your spine angle. And then we also said, because the body is quite square, the rate of closure of the club face, you're going to see it in a moment, is quite aggressive. So you'll see the right hand working over the left hand. And you'll see how the club face has quite a lot of rate of closure. And that's why you'll be reliant on timing quite a bit, and under pressure. This is why your poor shot will be a little left, because of that club face rotation, and this kind of chasey kind of right arm over the left arm. So what I'd be sort of prescribing, and the 3D is back this up. You'll get all your 3D on a separate email, Chris. I'd be prescribing to be more rotated open through the hit, to help to control the rate of closure of the club's face. Hope this has all helped, mate. It'd be cool to get some feedback from you, and if you need any more, need anything else, just you know where we are. Cheers, Chris.